Welcome back to Talk Wrestling here on Talk Sport 2. And for the 1 year anniversary show, we keep the hits coming. And AEW has been such an important part of our show for the past year and how they've grown and started to take over the wrestling industry in many ways. So it's only right we got one of their biggest stars right now, the TNT champion himself, Darby Allin. Darby, man, how are all things for the champ?
Howdy. Life is grand. Life is beautiful. Have no complaints on this side.
And that's what we like to hear, my friend. That is what we like to hear. I was just saying it, man. AEW, I know it's been going for maybe 15 months in terms of Dynamite now, 14, something like that. And what an amazing past year or so that company really has had. It just seems to get stronger and stronger. The ratings is one thing that keep trending upwards, but just the quality of the product and the way the fans have embraced it. Is it kind of, I don't want to say beyond your wildest dreams, but do you know what I mean? It's been quite an amazing thing for Dynamite.
Yeah, no, it's been positive looking at all the stuff that we've accomplished in such short time, whether it be the toys or the talk of the games. Everything that goes on behind the scenes to me is like super interesting. The hustle of everything. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, when you'd first come to AEW, I guess this is like the biggest company to date that you'd been with. Like, how has that been for you in terms of like the growing process personally as well?
It was good to have such a big stage like that. But at the end of the day, them saying, all right, you do whatever you want, dude. That was big to me as a human being because I hate being tied down. And I don't care how big your company is. I don't care, how big anything is in life. If someone starts putting chains on me, I'm gone, man. I do not put up with that. So I ain't your puppet.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say to you as well, with Tony Khan in particular, I think everyone has been so impressed with how, essentially he's become, the best booker in the game in the shortest space time ever. Talk to me about that relationship, because like you said, your character is so important and the way it's portrayed. Working with him alongside that and him understanding that must be crucial to what we've seen in Darby Allin thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of trust that goes into him and me, whether it's like me skateboarding or jumping off a 80-foot bridge. There's a lot of trust that goes into that. I'll be walking into tapings A-okay. But yeah, I have no complaints. It's been real good. You can see exactly, I think I told him a long time ago, all I care about is long-term storytelling. And you look at this Taz feud, we're almost at the 9-month mark of when we started, if not longer, with Taz last year, and I've really, that's all I've ever wanted to do is long-term storytelling because, yeah.
I'm glad you say that because, man, you've had quite a few good ones like that. The Cody, I mean, I'll start with the Cody story. Okay. Like that obviously turned into like a series of matches that culminated in you winning the title. You kind of proven it wrong after dropping it to Cody, or dropping the matches, I should say, to Cody in the first instance. And I know Cody has been very open about him wanting to work with you too. Like that was at the inception of the company. That was one of the things he'd kind of set on. So how fulfilling has that been, kind of making that work? Because I think everyone thought when you did win the title, that was so well done.
Yeah, no, just from the start, even before I stepped foot in this company, all the behind the scenes stuff of getting my contract set up and everything like that, and just talking to Cody, we were on the same page. Like we were on the same. He knew what I wanted, and he knew I wasn't going to put up with anything. So he's like, "All right, you want the ball? You're going to fight me in the first ever at the Fighter Fest, and we'll see how you do with taking that ball." So I put 110% into that, and I know it sounds cliche as hell, but it's the truth. Like I did everything I physically knew what to do in that match at Fighter Fest. So to fast forward a full year when we had the championship match and to walk out of that, yeah, couldn't put a better ending on that story. if it is the ending,
Yeah. I love that you say that he almost like laid down a challenge, man. Like almost, asked you to
Well,
rise and show what you got.
you know how it is, man. A lot of people talk the big talk, and a lot of independent wrestlers, they get to a big stage. On the indies, they're just like, yo, man, I deserve to be there. I'll kick ass, yada, 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 run their mouth all day. And the moment they get there, it goes down because they don't got what it takes. But I knew I had what it took, and I knew there was no boundary I wasn't willing to cross to get to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you've more than proved that at this stage. That's putting it lightly. Is it fair to say that Cody was the main guy that recruited you to AEW? How did that work?
Yeah, I would say, he was only because I heard through a mutual friend that he was interested in signing me. So, I did everything physically possible to get out of my current contract that I had with somewhere else. And, obviously there, man, me and Cody had long talks about, what I wanted and who I wanted to be. So it was good, but the whole team was on board with it. All the EVPs were on board with it, but me talking to people, I only really talked to Cody. So.
Nah. I mean, look what you said. That Cody story is great. We're talking about Taz as well. I mean, that will lead us into Sting. We'll get there. But how has that been as well, working with a legend like Taz, who on the mic is so, he incites like no other. Man, his story's coming along nice.
Yeah, it's a trip because if anybody knows Taz in the back, it's Taz in the front as well. So the reality kind of butting heads at the show. It's fun, keeps you on your toes. It's fun to piss him off.
Yeah, I can well imagine. One of my, I want to say favorite spots, and I don't know if it'll be one of your favorites because I assume it hurts, was, basically being in the body bag and Brian Cage flinging you, man. Like, are these all things like, like I've spoken to Jeff Hardy before, and I don't want to make the comparison, but he often visualizes things and just makes it happen. Are these all things that I'm assuming come from your brain?
Yeah, dude. No one would put me in that spot.
Yeah,
they don't want responsibility for my broken ass neck. But no, it was good. I am always thinking. I'm thinking more of what they can do to me than what I can do to them. You know what I mean? So it's good.
Can I just ask about the inspiration for a body bag? Because I don't think I've seen it before. I don't think I've seen someone fully in a wrestling ring getting flung around with a body bag.
I don't even know where that came from, to be honest. It just one day I bought a bag and then I thought, oh, this would be cool to be put into it. Oh God, I can't even remember where. I think I was having back on the Independence. I was having a street fight. I really wanted to do the spot where they put me in a bag and poured in thumbtacks. It was like the old shake and bake, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's where it stemmed from. So I don't know.
I love it. But that does bring us on nicely to where we are today, right? Because we're talking about Team Taz, and the one guy who seems to have your back is Sting. Now that has been so intriguing for so many people, is the dynamic between yourself and Sting. Just that visual is cool as hell when you two are like face to face. I mean, I don't know what your wrestling journey was as a kid and how involved Sting was for you, but like, talk to me what it is about, working with a legend like him.
When I work with him, you can't stop and smell the roses. It's go time. That's a huge thing for me to be in charge of telling his story of his career, like towards the tail end, because, you're writing history here. And I really, I don't want anybody to go back and look at, when he got with Darby Allin or whatever, it was kind of like, not good or whatever you would say. So to me, there's a lot of responsibility with that. And it's amazing to have that, responsibility put on me because I thrive in these situations.
When we heard that Sting was coming to AEW, like, is your brain turning at that point? Had you had any inclination? When does it first get brought to you? Like, know what, Darby, this is what we're doing.
To be honest, I was standing in the rafters doing my thing, and I thought I was sitting in the rafters because that's just how I am in real life, just away from everybody,
Yeah.
So I didn't put two and two together, and then when I finally did get told that was that, I was like, oh shit, like it's gonna be a big one, and it was, and that debut he had, that was something special, Now it's time to, like I said, you can't stop, smell the roses. It's on to week 2, week 3, week 4. It's time to kick ass, dude. So.
Yeah, Tony Khan knew. He knew what he was doing. And the tag match is set now, right? Like you and Sting together. Your brain must be going into overdrive, right?
Yes, sir. It's good. You know what I mean? I dropped out of film school, so visualizing things, I love everything to do with storytelling and film. So the wheels, man, it's a 7-day-a-week job for me in my head, so it doesn't end Thursday morning.
I don't want to put you like in Sting's boots or make you speak for him, but like, he's good to go. We're all feeling good about this match. Everyone's good.
Yeah, we were walking around Jacksonville the other day. There was just about, I'm going to say, 6-foot fence. I jumped the fence. I told Sting, yo, I'm going to take some photos, because we were looking at like some weird stuff in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm going to go take some photos for you of this weird building. And he's on this other side of the fence that's locked up. And he's like, well, you don't think I'm not going to jump this fence? So climbed up and he jumped the fence. So I'd say he's good to go.
I like it.
Take that.
He is down to go. Yeah, man, a couple more Dynamite things I want to talk about over the past 12 months before I know I have to let you go here. I want to quickly touch on the Brody Lee show, right? First of all, I want to get what he meant to you while he was in the company and, getting to be alongside him. But secondly, what a fantastic tribute show that was, honestly. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart in terms of, I've seen a lot of tribute shows in wrestling, but that was one of the most uplifting. I felt great by the end of that show. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. He meant a lot to me because, like I said in my interview, when he first came in, I was telling Sammy Guevara, like, I was in the back, and I was like, when I first saw him walk in, I was like, that's the guy. I want to wrestle him so bad. Like, he's like a true professional, you know what I mean? He gets it. He gets what he needs to do to make a wrestling show as great as it can be. And, like, he was just, he let me, I talked to him about, my situations and stuff like that with, I don't like to hang out with like groups of people, once the show's over, I'm gone. Like I just not really go socializing with other people. And I talked with him about that, I was like, dude, it's okay. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be with everybody, and have to like fit in and like go to the after parties and stuff. So it was really cool to like hear it from him. You know what I mean? So that show was very special. And at the end, it just felt like everything was like connecting, and with, the sun at the end with the TNT championship and, everything. And yeah, it was very uplifting. It was very, very special. So.
Yeah, I think that was almost the most special thing was just seeing -1, I guess he's known as these days, just how much all of that seemed to mean to him. The whole show, like MJF still being a heel to him, all of that stuff, but he seemed to really enjoy it. I mean, that's got to be number one, I guess, for everyone. I even saw the speech that Eddie Kingston gave backstage. Did you see that in the flesh, or was that another?
Yeah, I was back there somewhere. I was like in the back, and I don't know. I was walking in halfway through, and And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, this is, this is cool. It's fun. Yeah. Eddie's a good talker, man. He gets people wild up, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Sammy Guevara earlier, man. That's another guy that I love to see in AEW. And you two had great chemistry early on, man, with some of their matches too. Like, I just want to know, like, I guess we're going to include Sammy in this list. I get your thoughts on that, but who have you like loved meshing with in the ring in AEW?
Everybody, I would, besides what we've already said with Cody and Team Taz, I would say I really like the stuff I did with Moxley. I just like going out there and you have this like mutual understanding that we are gonna kind of fight. There's gonna be scratching, there's gonna be blood. You know what I mean? And it's fun. I like that. I like that atmosphere. It's a good time. There's a lot of people that I like. Pac was another one, for example.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? He, like I said, true professional. Like that's a supreme athlete right there, man. He's insane. I'd love to get more in the ring with him, when the time is right.
I'm glad you said Moxley, man, because he has said in the past that he would actually quite like to do a tag team deal with you.
Yeah, I would like to. I've said it before. I'd like to be in a tag team and possibly with him, and go in the ring with FTR. Because those guys, I really dig what they're doing. So.
Yeah, me too, man. So when I think about the possibilities of a tag team of Darby Allin and Jon Moxley, like, wherever there's an eventual split up or, down the line, I just feel like your two characters could be so cool together on a week-to-week basis. Do you know what I mean?
It would be cool. Whenever our world springs together again, I'm totally open to the idea.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just a couple of closing questions here then. So just talk to me a little bit about I was about to say how your life has changed since becoming like more of a mainstream household star in AEW. And the reason I asked that question is because I don't know that you don't seem like a guy that does change. So just talk to me about aesthetically in your day to day, like how different is it for you now that you're killing it with AEW?
I've been fortunate enough to buy my house, 14 acres,
Wow.
and building all this skate park in the backyard. Traveling, this is like the biggest thing that to me that's changed is be able to travel the country and skate with like Tony Hawk, go to Bam Margera's house, go ride bikes with Travis Pastrana. I'm totally like, my wheels are always spinning what I can do outside of the ring, and it's good. That's like the biggest thing that's changed is just the adventures in life that I go on, and it's fun. So.
When it comes to Sting, is your eventual hope to wrestle Sting?
Yeah, I'm totally game. If that's where the road takes us, and there's a mutual respect and understanding of, what we want to accomplish, I'm totally game. But right now, I definitely just see us together because we got a lot of stories to tell together, a lot.
And Sting hasn't said like that much in AEW. It's been more about action than words. But like in terms of when you two have met, has he given you any kind of kind words or insights into what he thinks about you? Because I think, we all know Cody's made it very clear. Cody would love to wrestle Sting. He said that. And I'm going to imagine there's a ton of guys. But the first guy is you. That's who he's come back to work with. So I'm going to imagine he must have some high regard for you.
Yeah, he visualizes a lot of things, he likes the characters and stuff like that. So when he first saw my vignettes, my promos, whatever you call them, he was super hyped on them, and he just thought they were so different and so unique. So with the story that we've been doing, I've been like sending him all these visual ideas of things and talking in depth, you know, to him and being like, yo, like this. And he really likes it. You know what I mean? He really likes how my brain works with things. So he's very confident that he's in good hands.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see that play out, man. We all know, you know, Darby Allin and Sting are going to be in the ring together. And thank you so much, Darby, for joining us on the 1 year anniversary of Talk Wrestling here. I mean, I haven't been able to get out to an AEW show since the first Double or Nothing. We all know 2020 was killer for everyone around here. But I actually can't wait until to get out to you guys again. And I know you've had plans to come to the UK too. You've obviously got a little bit of history here, man, progress and whatnot. Are you excited to do that down the road?
Yeah, absolutely. I've only been to the UK once, so I don't have that much history.
I just remember doing progress. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a one-time deal, but it was cool. You know what I mean? I would love to go back out there. You know, like so big for me to show fans worldwide, you know, our wrestling live and in person. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be just this distant thing they see on the TV. I want it to be like in their face. So, yeah, man.
Man, the fans will be red hot. I can guarantee you that when it does finally happen. Once again, Darby, thank you so much for your time today. I can't wait to speak to you again in the future, my friend.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Thank you so much, brother. That was awesome.